Have you ever noticed that aging doesn't just bring freedom and wisdom? It can also quietly shape habits that harm your health, your spirit, and even your relationships. Little by little, we go out less, socialize less, and begin to accept pain, loneliness, or disconnection as something normal. But here's the concern. Many people don't realize these habits are slowly making their lives smaller, sadder, and less healthy. In today's video, I'll be sharing 8 common but dangerous habits that many older adults fall into, and more importantly, how to break free from them. If you're in this stage of life, or someone you love is, don't skip this. This isn't just about information, it's about an opportunity to live healthier, feel happier, and truly reconnect with the world around you. If this message resonates with you, comment 1 below. If not, feel free to be honest and drop a 0. I always welcome real conversation. Now let's get started. Number 1, talking about the past too much. As we grow older, the past often begins to feel more vivid than the present. Childhood memories, career accomplishments, or the pride of raising a family suddenly return in sharper detail than ever before. We remember old friends, once close relationships that may now exist only in memory. These reflections bring both joy and a hint of longing, and that's perfectly natural. But sometimes, dwelling too much in the past can quietly create a distance from the present. Take Mr. Raymond, 80, a retired history teacher. He often told his grandson stories of wartime, of youthful adventures, and historical moments that shaped his life. At first, the boy listened out of politeness, but gradually lost interest. Everything changed when Raymond began asking about his grandson's school, his love for technology, and his favorite video games. That shift, stepping into his grandson's world, sparked a true connection. The boy began asking Raymond questions about history again, but this time with real curiosity because his grandfather wasn't just telling his stories anymore, he was also listening to his. Sharing memories is a beautiful thing, but when stories are repeated too often, especially with younger generations, the listener can begin to feel disconnected. They didn't live those experiences, and they may not relate to the same context. To truly connect, we need to create space for two-way exchange. Instead of only reminiscing, try asking, what's something you're excited about lately, or what challenge are you facing right now? Or even, what's your take on that? When you show genuine curiosity, you open a door for others to step into your world, willingly. Elaine, 74, from Santa Fe, used to feel lonely after calling her children, where most of the conversation revolved around the past. One day, instead of diving into another old story, she asked her college-age granddaughter about her final project. That one question sparked an hour-long conversation about her studies, dreams, and everything she was discovering. Elaine later said she felt youthful again, not because of the past, but because of that present moment they had truly shared. Connection doesn't come from knowing more about the past, it comes from choosing to be present now. When we both cherish what has been and stay curious about what others are experiencing today, we remain a living part of their story. No one wants to be remembered only as the person who tells old tales. We want to be seen, to be heard, and to listen, not just with memories but with an open heart. Number 2, becoming too stubborn and resistant to change. We have to admit, change can be scary, especially as we get older and our routines become deeply familiar, woven into the fabric of our lives. Many older adults feel safest clinging to what they know, old ways of thinking, old ways of living, things that once gave meaning and structure to their world. But the world doesn't stand still, and sometimes holding too tightly to the familiar can leave us feeling like we've been left behind. When we resist new technology, we slowly lose the ability to communicate with our grandchildren and friends. When we're closed off to modern perspectives, we miss the chance to understand the world our loved ones live in today. When we avoid adjusting our lifestyle, our mental and physical health can quietly slip into stagnation, often without us even noticing. But here's the good news. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can start with small, simple, and manageable steps. Take the story of Walter, 79, who lives in the suburbs of Salt Lake City. He used to scoff at smartphones, saying, "Old folks like me don't need all that nonsense." But after missing several messages from his grandson, he decided to give it a try. One afternoon with his granddaughter was all it took. He learned how to video call, send photos, and even joined a family group chat to share little updates each day. Suddenly, he wasn't just connected to his family, he felt alive again. Every conversation became something to look forward to. He felt like part of his children and grandchildren's lives, rather than watching from the sidelines. Adapting doesn't mean losing who you are. In fact, it's a powerful way to keep your spirit alive and thriving. Every time you learn something new, whether it's using a device, trying a new dish, or listening to a different perspective, you're showing the world that age is not a barrier to growth. Being open to the new doesn't make you weaker. It proves that you're strong enough to step out of your comfort zone and embrace life in a whole new way. So if you're feeling a little left behind today, don't feel like you need to change everything. Start with one small step. Try a video call instead of a phone call. Ask your grandchild what they're learning at school. Sit and listen to someone younger talk about something they care about. These aren't just moments of connection, they are how you keep living fully and meaningfully, no matter your age. And if you're still watching this video right now, leave a comment with the number 1 below to let me know you're here and that you're still walking this journey with us. Thank you for sharing your time. It means more than you know. Number 3, neglecting personal hygiene. As we grow older, many people don't realize that maintaining personal hygiene can become a quiet yet deeply impactful challenge, one that affects both physical health and emotional well-being. The concern is that these changes often happen gradually and go unnoticed until the consequences become difficult to ignore. Tasks that were once part of a daily routine, like bathing, brushing teeth, or changing clothes, can turn into burdens, especially for those with mobility issues, chronic illnesses, or conditions affecting muscles and joints. But it's not just physical limitations. Cognitive decline and depression can also play a quiet but powerful role in causing older adults to neglect themselves. When mood drops, motivation to care for appearance or personal comfort often disappears. What follows is a cycle of isolation, low self-esteem, and a decline in mental health. Neglecting hygiene isn't just about appearance. It can lead to serious health risks: skin infections, gum disease, unpleasant body odor that causes embarrassment in social settings, and strained relationships that deepen a sense of isolation. Many seniors, ashamed to admit they're struggling, try to hide the signs, pulling away from social interactions, hoping no one notices that things are slipping. But here's the truth: there are many ways to make personal hygiene more manageable and less overwhelming. Instead of seeing it as one big task, break it down into smaller, achievable steps. A sturdy shower chair can make bathing safer. Long-handled brushes or assistive devices can make self-care possible again. Installing grab bars, using non-slip mats, and improving bathroom lighting can reduce one of the greatest fears older adults face when it comes to bathing: falling. For those who are forgetful, simple reminders, like a sticky note on the mirror or a daily alert on the phone, can help build a rhythm. And if doing it alone becomes too much, asking for support from a loved one or hiring professional care is not just practical, it's an act of self-love. There's no shame in needing help. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that you value your health and dignity enough to act on it. Maintaining hygiene isn't just about a clean body. It's about preserving self-respect, feeling in control, and staying connected to life. When you feel fresh and comfortable, you walk out the door with a different kind of confidence. And that confidence gives you the mental strength to live more fully, more proudly each day. So don't treat hygiene as just a chore. See it as a daily act of self-respect, a way to nourish your dignity, because you deserve that at every age. Number 4, complaining too much. As we grow older, life naturally brings challenges, aches and pains, financial concerns, changing relationships, and sometimes just the heavy silence of an empty house. And when those feelings pile up, it's easy, almost automatic, to fall into the habit of complaining. We all do it. At first, it's small. My knees hurt today. Everything was simpler back then. But before we realize it, that habit can take root. It becomes part of the way we speak, the way we see the world. And that's where things can quietly begin to change, not just in us, but in the people around us. Take Richard, 77, a retired postman from Ohio. He used to be the storyteller at every family gathering. But after losing his wife and dealing with ongoing health issues, his conversations turned darker. He didn't mean to push people away, but slowly, the phone calls stopped coming. His grandchildren didn't visit as often. His friends stopped inviting him out. And it wasn't because they didn't care. They simply didn't know how to keep showing up when every conversation left them feeling helpless and drained. Here's the truth. People gravitate toward energy that lifts them, not drains them. And constant complaining, even when it's justified, can create emotional distance. Studies have shown that chronic negativity can raise stress levels, weaken the immune system, and even impact memory. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. Shifting your perspective doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means creating space in your day to notice what still brings you joy. Try this. Every morning, before the day gets going, write down one thing you're grateful for. Maybe it's your morning cup of coffee, a song you heard on the radio, or simply waking up pain-free. And when you talk to loved ones, start with that. Hey, I saw the first robin of spring today, or I just made the best bowl of oatmeal. You'd be amazed how something so simple can change the tone of a conversation and how people begin to respond to you differently. Practicing gratitude doesn't erase the hard stuff, but it softens it. It reminds you and everyone around you that you're still here, still paying attention, still finding meaning in the day-to-day. You become someone people want to connect with, not out of obligation, but because being around you feels good. That matters. So if you've noticed yourself slipping into a pattern of constant complaints, don't judge yourself. Just ask, what else is true today? What went right? What's one small thing that made you smile? Because those small moments, those glimpses of joy, are what keep us connected to life and to one another. If you're still with me, and this message speaks to you, type 2 in the comments. And remember, your voice still matters. How you use it, what energy you bring to each conversation, has the power to shape not just how others see you, but how you feel about yourself. Number 5, hoarding useless things. As we get older, it's natural to collect more than just memories. Over the years, we hold on to clothes that no longer fit, stacks of old magazines, mismatched kitchenware, and boxes of letters, not because we're messy, but because these things carry meaning. A scarf reminds us of a winter trip. A chipped mug was once part of our morning routine. Letting go can feel like letting go of who we were. But eventually, what once brought comfort can quietly become a burden. A cluttered home isn't just inconvenient, it can be dangerous. It becomes harder to move freely, easier to trip, and more stressful to find what we need. And beyond the physical risks, clutter can weigh heavily on our minds. When the space around us feels chaotic, it's harder to feel calm inside. What's more, clutter can isolate us. We might hesitate to invite others over, feeling embarrassed or overwhelmed. We might avoid rooms altogether or feel stuck in routines that no longer serve us, all because our space no longer reflects the life we're living now. But here's the good news. Decluttering doesn't mean erasing the past. It means honoring it and choosing what still serves you today. That might mean keeping the dress that reminds you of a beautiful evening, but letting go of the boxes you haven't opened in 10 years. It's not about what you lose, it's about what you gain. Space, peace of mind, freedom. Start small, one drawer, one shelf, one corner. Ask yourself gently, do I use this? Do I love this? Does this belong in my life today? If not, maybe it's time to thank it and let it go. You're not just clearing space in your home, you're making space in your heart for what comes next. And you don't have to do it alone. Invite a friend, ask family to help, put on music, tell the stories behind the items as you sort. Make it a moment of reflection, not a burden. You'll be amazed at how just a few small changes can open up your space and your spirit. Because in the end, your home doesn't need to be filled with everything you've ever owned. It just needs to be a place where you feel safe, peaceful, and ready for the life you're still creating. Letting go isn't losing, it's choosing. Choosing to live lighter, freer, and more fully today. Number 6, ignoring health issues until they become serious. Many of us have done this. We feel a little tired, a dull ache in the shoulder, or a mild cough that lingers for a few days, and we tell ourselves it's probably nothing. We take a painkiller, rest a bit, and hope it goes away. But over time, this mindset can become a dangerous habit, especially as we age. At an older age, our bodies don't bounce back as quickly, and those small signs might actually be early warnings our body is quietly trying to send us. Walter, a retired electrician at 76, once thought his mild stomach pain was just something he ate. He ignored it for 3 weeks until his daughter convinced him to see a doctor. The diagnosis? Gallbladder disease, requiring urgent surgery. His doctor told him that if he had waited even one more week, the complications could have been far more serious. Walter later shared that he wasn't afraid of the doctor. He just didn't want to bother anyone or seem weak. That's a story many older adults can relate to. We delay, we hope for the best, and we don't want to make a fuss. But here's what you need to remember. Going to the doctor early doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care about yourself. It's an act of strength, not fear. Routine checkups don't always bring bad news. Sometimes they're simply a reassuring reminder that you're doing well. Other times they catch something early, when it's still small, still manageable. Preventive care like blood pressure checks, heart monitoring, lab work, or even just mentioning a subtle change to your doctor can help you stay active, independent, and at peace. Think of it like caring for a car. You don't wait for it to break down on the road before you get it checked. Your body deserves the same kind of attention and care. Don't let the small things become big things. Make the appointment when you feel something's off. Don't wait until it's urgent. Caring for your health isn't a burden. It's a gift to yourself. It's what allows you to keep enjoying walks in the park, laughing with your grandchildren, or simply waking up each day feeling okay. If you're still watching this video and these words resonate with you, leave a comment with the number 3 below. I want to know you're here and that we're on this journey to better health together. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that button now so you don't miss out on the next helpful tip. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and please keep taking care of yourself. You truly deserve it. Number 7, expecting too much from family. As we enter our later years, many of us carry a quiet belief that family will always be our steady anchor, emotionally, financially, and simply through their presence in our daily lives. We imagine that our children will call every day, stop by on weekends, and be there to help with the little things. But the reality? It often looks very different. Our children grow up, become absorbed in their careers, their own children, and responsibilities we may never fully see. They love us, but sometimes that love doesn't show up in the way we hope. Clara, 74, from Minnesota, once shared that she spent years waiting for her daughter to visit every weekend. But the more she waited, the more disappointed she felt, even hurt. When calls were missed or plans canceled at the last minute, I started to feel like I didn't matter anymore, she said. After a long period of sadness and self-blame, Clara chose to make a change. She signed up for a craft class at the local library, connected with peers in her community, and slowly built a small circle of friends, a space where she felt heard, seen, and didn't need to depend on anyone else. And something beautiful happened. Once she stopped placing all her emotional expectations on her daughter, their relationship actually became lighter and more joyful. The truth is, when we place too much emotional weight on our family, it can create unspoken pressure, and that pressure can push them away. Not because they don't care, but because they feel helpless. Love shouldn't come with guilt or obligation. The more we wait for others to make us happy, the more likely we are to feel let down. But when we take ownership of our own joy through hobbies, friendships, and small everyday pleasures, we offer both ourselves and our family a gift, a peaceful connection, free from heavy expectations. Being independent at this stage of life doesn't mean being alone. It means being proactive. It means learning how to find joy even when no one else is around. It might be a class, a walking group, a book club, or simply a daily stroll with a neighbor. When you build a life that's yours, that fills you up, you no longer need someone else to make you feel whole. You've already done that for yourself. And here's the surprise. When you stop needing, you start attracting. Your children and grandchildren may start reaching out more. Not out of duty, but because your presence makes them feel warm, welcomed, and inspired. In the end, happiness doesn't come from having someone by your side at every moment. It comes from knowing that you still have value, still have strength, and still have something meaningful to give and receive. And no matter where you are in life right now, you absolutely deserve that. Number 8, becoming too isolated. As the days go by, perhaps you've grown used to choosing silence over connection. Declining an invitation, ignoring a phone call, skipping a gathering, small decisions that seem harmless at the time, but little by little, they quietly pull you further from the circle of connection. Social isolation doesn't happen overnight. It forms step by step, and by the time you notice, the world around you has grown strangely quiet. Many older adults in America fall into this pattern without even realizing it. They don't see how sitting alone more often, avoiding small talk with neighbors, or losing interest in social outings could impact their health. But studies show the opposite. Social isolation increases the risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even affects heart health and immune function. It's like a silent illness. The longer it lingers, the harder it is to reverse. But here's the truth. Isolation is not your destiny. You can find your way back, one small step at a time. Maybe it's a phone call to an old friend, a short walk around your neighborhood, signing up for a gentle yoga class at the local senior center. Even a quick chat with the familiar cashier at the store can open the door to connection. Take the story of Walter, 79, from Arizona. After his wife passed, he rarely left the house. The days blended into each other, and he lost track of time. One day, his daughter signed him up for a community gardening class. He didn't want to go at first, but that single visit introduced him to a whole new circle, people who, like him, were also finding their way back. Now, every Tuesday, Walter meets with his new friends for morning coffee and laughter. Reconnecting doesn't mean changing who you are. You don't need to be outgoing or surround yourself with a crowd. You just need to open your heart, even a little, and let the world in. Real connections can begin with a simple good morning, a smile, or your quiet presence in the same room. Growing older doesn't mean growing silent. This is a time in life when you deserve to be seen, heard, and surrounded by people who make you feel hopeful about what's still ahead. If you've been feeling yourself slowly pulling back, remember, just one small action a day can start to reopen the door to the world and to yourself. Remember, you are never too old to reconnect, to start anew, or to expand your circle of relationships. Whether it's chatting with a neighbor, joining a local club, or simply calling up an old friend, every small step holds the power to shift your life in meaningful ways. Growing older isn't a time to retreat from the world. It's a time to live more deeply in every moment. If you're still watching this video and these words resonate with you, please leave a comment with the number 3 below to let me know you're here and walking this journey with me. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more encouraging insights to help you stay healthy, joyful, and connected at every stage of life. Thank you for spending your precious time with me today. You deserve a full, vibrant life.